What's going on? What's going on, family? How are y'all doing today? Let me get this music off. All right, so we are here with a live. It is the PoPo show. Welcome to the live this Sunday for the PoPo show. Hey guys, listen, it was a hard day today because I had to work last night. So y'all bear with me. I got some fresh brewed coffee. And I do got my stick with me. I just lit up. So I just woke up about, it was like 3:30, 3:20, 3:30, somewhere around there. I woke up. So y'all bear with me, man. Your boy is struggling. I'm struggling. All right. So y'all bear with me. Fatty, what's going on, my man? That's Team Fatty right there. Team Fatty, welcome to the first show of the PoPo show, man. Listen. You guys, so if y'all don't know who Team Fatty is, you guys go follow my man Team Fatty. He is not in the 2A community, but he is a big proponent of, the manosphere. Well, not really like the manosphere, but he is, one of the guys that really talks about, holding people accountable, I would say. You know what I'm saying? He really holds people accountable. So y'all go to Team Fatty if you want a lot of drama. If you want a lot of funny, things going on, things like that, man, y'all follow Team Fatty. I wasn't prepared for Team Fatty to come today, man. He's getting a little too big for me. He's kind of forgot about the little small people around here. So, Team Fatty, man, what's up? I appreciate you coming. Joe Morgan, man, appreciate it. Appreciate seeing you. Appreciate coming over. That Joe Morgan is a ride or die, man. That's why he has a wrench behind his name. Ting Ting, thank you for coming. J1 again, my man J1, he was here last show. You guys, I apologize. Well, I don't apologize. Last Sunday was Easter, so I didn't do a show then, and that's why I didn't have a show because it was Easter. So, King Henry 47, appreciate you coming. Ray Official, appreciate it. Jody Brown, appreciate you being here. Everybody. Let's get started with the show. Triple Bean, I see you on there. I'm trying to do some maintenance real quick, okay? Guys, let me first start off with saying, Dieseltv has a membership, guys. So if you guys want to become part of a membership, the first tier is an officer. You can become just a regular officer of the Dieseltv Police Department. This is how we're doing it. If you want to come, the first tier is not that expensive. Second tier, you can become a captain. You get a little bit more, authority when you become a captain. And the last tier is it's kind of a bigger tier. You become assistant chief. All right. And with that tier there, it's a little bit more expensive, but I got a lot of people asking me personal questions and how they should move in the justice system, how they should move with becoming a police officer, things of that sort. And if you want some one-on-one time on how to do those kind of things, maybe you have some issues going on and you just want to, just ask me about some how I would do things, my opinion on how I would do things when it comes to law enforcement, trying to get into law enforcement or anything like that, mentality you should have, you can pay for that. And that gives you 1 hour a month with me. It's personal. We can do a Zoom meeting, however you want to do it. If you don't want it recorded, we don't have to record it. We can. It's all totally up to you. But that gets you a 1 hour with me, 1 hour session with me. And I just give you a whole bunch of, info on things how you can do things, how to get into law enforcement. If you have questions on law, things of that sort, I can help you out. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, let's move on with the show. So I got a few things that I want to talk about today when it comes to the show. All right. So you guys know I'm in law enforcement and this show has just started. So there are some things that I want to bring into this show when it comes to doing it on Sundays. One of them is the Fallen Officers Memorial. And my cigar went out, man. Jesus Christ. So I want to do a segment at the beginning of the show because I don't want to end the show on a low note. But at the beginning of the show, I want to do a Fallen Officers Memorial, kind of remembering, memorializing some of the officers that fell the prior week. There might be some stories that I bring out. There was one story that I was reading on because I do follow it. And I like to see, certain things that's going on and and aspects. Okay, we got a new team member, Team Fatty. We appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it. We got some officers that fall, and I like to read up on some of the stories, because a lot of the situation that these officers are in, I find myself in, that they've fallen in. So there was one story, and I wanted to bring light to it, and it was an officer out of New Orleans. Okay, let me find his information, because it really it made me think about some things when it came down to how he fell and what happened in this situation. Guys, just bear with me. This is kind of new to me, trying to navigate all this stuff. It's kind of new to me, so y'all just bear with me a little bit. So yeah, I want to go ahead and memorialize a few of the fallen officers that we have had recently. And one of them is, well, we only had one officer fall last week. His name was Trevor Abney. All right. Trevor Abney was a 7-year vet. And Trevor, in October 30th of 2020, Trevor was on a traffic stop, right? He was on this traffic stop, and the passenger of the vehicle just opened fire on him unprovoked. Bullet struck Trevor in the side of the face, somewhere on the side of the face. The bullet got lodged in his brain, and he survived. He did survive it. At that time, he did survive it anyway. Well, doctors tried to take it out, but they couldn't take it out because it was lodged in his brain. And he went blind. He has been blind since October 30th of 2020. And just think, and the reason why I thought about this is because this man was doing his job, and he could no longer do his job anymore because somebody shot him, and he couldn't see as well. All he could hear was all the negativity that goes on TV when it comes to law enforcement. Now, all my cop buddies know Richard Tester's in here. He's a sergeant for a police department. Appreciate you, Richard, coming over here, man. I really do appreciate it. All my cop friends know, when it comes down to it, if you're forced out by either medical or because somebody just didn't like you, it's still in you. You still want to do the job. You still want to hear the stories. You still want to be a part of it. Just imagine this man couldn't be a part of anything when it came down to him being in law enforcement, but all he could do was hear about all the negativity that was going on. I am praying that that man had somebody around him to give him some positive information when it came to law enforcement. But he succumbed to his wounds on April 9th, 2023. And I just wanted to memorialize him because, we get officers that pass away, and I haven't seen anything on here. Now, I might not be, I'm not on a lot of YouTube channels, so I'm not saying nobody does it, but me personally, I haven't seen anybody do it yet. So I just wanted to take the few minutes for at the beginning of the show to do that, okay? All right, guys. So let's move on with the show. All right, so guys, this is what I want to talk about. So I was going to bring this up last week, but I did not bring it up because I didn't. You guys know I didn't do a show. So here in North Carolina, they just passed a bill to where you don't have to go to a sheriff's department, apply for a gun permit to get a firearm anymore. You just go straight to the dealership, the gun shop, pick out the gun you want, fill out your ATF forms, and then you can get the gun as long as you pass the background, which I think is a very, very good thing. I really do think it's a very, very good thing. But there has been one sheriff in my area that has really taken a huge stance on this, and he really does not like the fact that he's not the one doing the backgrounds anymore because before what you had to do, I'm gonna tell you guys, because I know we have a lot of people that are from North Carolina here. Before, what you had to do was you had to go to the actual sheriff's department, fill out paperwork for them to do a background for you to get your permit. What that did, though, it created a huge backlog to where people were waiting 9 to 10 months on a gun permit. And that just, I mean, it kind of infringed on people's rights, you know, especially when you're talking about somebody without that process there, because that process was an added process that North Carolina used to try to, you know, stop people that were not on the right path, I guess, from getting guns. So you would go to the sheriff's office, fill out that form for a gun permit. You have to wait a couple weeks. Now, the longest I've ever waited for a gun permit before I got my concealed carry was, and this was before I became a cop, because, you know, if you have your credentials, you don't have to get a gun permit either. You can just go to the gun shop also. But before I became a cop, I was buying guns, and I would probably wait about 4 or 5 weeks for me to get a gun permit in the county that the sheriff is in. This is where I was raised. But now that they've passed this bill to where they don't have to go to the sheriff's office no more, he thinks it's a big problem. I think it's a good thing. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to react to the interview that he did on this. Now, let me start off by saying I have met this sheriff before. I've shaken his hand. I don't know him personally. But I will say I'm not going to agree with anybody 100%, especially when it comes to a lot of gun laws, because I am very, very, very strict by the book, white and black. And I just feel like some of the gun laws that we have are infringing on our rights. You know what I'm saying? So please don't think that I am trying to talk anything negative about the sheriff, because he is a very, very, very smart individual. I don't even want to do a debate with him or anything like that, because he's very smart man, you know. But some of the things that he was saying, I just have a problem with when it comes down to it. So let's go ahead and react to this video. I'm gonna go ahead and start this video, and you guys, y'all gonna have to bear with me, because like I said, it's this is my first time actually doing this kind of thing here. Well, let me see if I can get a better, there we go. Let's do this. All right, now I can't, where is it at? There we go.
To loosen gun permit rules is now heading to Governor Roy Cooper's desk. We've told you before this bill would take out local law enforcement's role in the background check for a permit, leaving it solely to the feds. Well, today the Mecklenburg sheriff says he thinks this bill is a bad idea. He talked about it with our Jane Monreal, who's joining us live from Uptown right now. So Jane, what did the sheriff have to say?
Well, Vanessa, he thinks this is a bad idea, just like you said. Sheriff Gary McFadden telling me, first, let's get this straight. He used to work for the NRA, and he is not against Second Amendment rights. But this bill, again, a bad idea.
Law enforcement, Sheriff Gary McFadden, is not anti-Second Amendment. I support.
Okay, so this is the first thing. As you guys know, in this 2A arena, anytime somebody starts with a statement like that, it's going to go bad. It's going to sound like you don't support the Second Amendment. That's the first thing when it comes down to it. And the thing about it is, I understand where some people come from. But the thing that I have a hard time understanding and wrap my head around it is, when law enforcement starts thinking like this, and we know how things work when it comes to the illegal guns in the community. Let's play a little more.
Amendment.
What the sheriff doesn't support is Senate Bill 41, which repeals the permit requirements for both the church carry and pistol purchases.
I'm hoping that they do not take away the powers of a duly elected sheriff. This is a bad bill.
Sheriff McFadden explaining the case in point when they denied a man a permit following a background check last year. That man appealed, but didn't show up to court.
A couple of months ago, we got a call from Washington State. This gentleman went back to his home, obtained a gun, 4 hours later, walked into a parking lot and killed an innocent man. All this is for sheriffs is we are the best judgment or judge to understand who should have a weapon in our communities.
Okay. That's one of the things I've had the biggest problem with when it came to this whole situation, is him making that statement of we have the best judgment of who should have a gun and a gun permit. So one of the problems is with this whole situation is that you could go to one county, get a gun permit, right? And I could go, okay, I could be living in one county, be applying for a gun, apply for, and not ever get a gun permit because I might have a misdemeanor or something, some kind of investigation that somebody said they were investigating me for, or anything like that. Prime example is somebody that I know that is part of my family is into illegal activity. I would just say some kind of illegal activity, okay? Their name came up in an investigation. Just the sole fact that their name came up in an investigation, they could not get a gun permit. I have a huge problem with that. And the reason I have a huge problem with that is because anybody's name could come up in an investigation, right? When it comes down to law enforcement, I can say that Officer Team Fatty, who is just a member, just became a member, right? Officer Team Fatty, new member. I'm gonna put his name down on the investigation. And what that's gonna start is gonna make it harder for him to get a gun permit. Now, that same person that couldn't get a gun permit in the county that he was currently living in moved 2 counties over, applied for a gun permit, got it. Like that. No problem. You know what I'm saying? So it was it's hard for me to wrap my head around why people have to go to a sheriff's department when they make the personal decision. It's not even a decision based on anything, any kind of, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. If the person has a pending charge of a misdemeanor, it might be drug possession or something like that, they cannot get a gun permit. And the crazy thing about it is you don't have to, all that stuff is not looked at by the federal government, because really it's an infringement on your Second Amendment. I think it is. My stance on it is if you do not have a felony, if you have not been convicted of a felony, being charged with a felony, no. You have to be convicted of a felony before you can possess or purchase a firearm. I think that's how it should be. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it should be any other way around it when it comes down to it. I don't think a sheriff should determine if you should be able to get a gun permit. I don't think anybody else should determine if you get a gun permit. Hey, Team Fatty, go ahead and stick around, man. I'm going to open the panel here in a little bit. I'm not going to stay on as long as I want to. I mean, as I usually do. Well, I might stay on. I don't know. I'm just a little tired because I had to work last night, and I'm going to need some help, keeping this thing going. So Team Fatty, stay up. I don't know if you're doing a show or not, but stay up, man. I'm gonna open up the panel here in just a little bit. Gray Man 47, what's going on, man? I need you to come up on the panel too. So y'all stick around. But yes, when it comes down to it, man, I don't think this was a win for North Carolina. I think that you know, in North Carolina, gun sales, now that's the only bad thing about it is gun sales have skyrocketed now in North Carolina because everybody's waiting outside to get a gun because they don't have to wait on that gun permit. So, you know, when it comes down to it, man, I think this is a win for North Carolina. All right. Let's see if there's anything else on this video.
Or who should be allowed to have the weapon.
McFadden says if these local permits are repealed, the background checks for gun buyers wouldn't be thorough enough.
Once that trigger is pulled and innocent lives are taken, they're going to blame someone. And they often blame the sheriff. We will take that responsibility. But who talks to the families and loved ones if they take this ability away from us? It is a bad bill.
All right, so that was something else I wanted to talk about. He says if that trigger is pulled, somebody's going to be blamed. Every time something happens, somebody is blamed. They're trying to find someone to blame when somebody gets a gun. The crazy thing is the sheriff, the ATF, the federal government, they're not going to stop you from getting a gun if you really want to get a gun. It's just kind of impossible. This whole war on drugs ain't a war on drugs. People gonna get their drugs. They gonna get their guns. They gonna get their drugs. They gonna get their liquor. You know, I mean, and Tester knows. Tester's a sergeant. He is a sergeant. Tester knows. None of what he said is accurate. That is totally correct. And I'm not. Listen, I'm not here to talk any trash about anybody. But this county that he's in, Mecklenburg County, has turned into the California of North Carolina. Tester, you let me know if you think that's true or not. It has turned into the California of North Carolina. It is ridiculous. And I work like 30 minutes away from there. And I have to hear all this crap that goes on down there. And the crazy thing about it is you have places that are very open. I know the county that I live in right now, the sheriff there does not have a backlog. You know why? Because all they check for is felonies. That's all they check for, is to see if that person has a felony. If they don't have a felony, if they're not a pending felony or anything like that, they give them a daggone a gun permit. Now they have a short backlog when it comes to concealed carry. The reason why, though, is because the paperwork has to be sent up to the state, and then the state sends it back to them. But other than that, that's all. I mean, but when it comes to gun permits, there is no backlog in the county that I live in. You know, so just like Tester said, the great state of Mecklenburg, that's exactly what it is. It's crazy how they just do whatever they want down there when it comes down to it. Their processing for the jail is totally different, but I'll talk about that another day. So I just wanted to get that off my chest, man. I really wanted to do that last week, but I wanted to get that off my chest. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open the panel, man. This is just an open discussion. Right now, I'm still trying to I am really still trying to get everything together on how I am going to do that. I know I want to do the memorial for the officers. And if you want to come on, just make sure you cam up. If you want to come up on the panel, make sure you cam up. But there are some things that I'm going to be focusing on when it comes to, I'm gonna do a little bit of news on my PoPo show, some law enforcement news, gun news, stuff like that. I want to do the memorial like I did earlier in the show. There are some other things that I want to do as well, but I don't know exactly how that fits into me doing it on the live or me making videos of it, because there was something I was going to go over with today, and it was going to pertain to like it was going to pertain to citizens complaints on officers. That's what it was going to pertain to, right? And I was thinking about doing that live, but I decided to do a video on it because it's kind of intricate on how I got to do it, because I got a few videos of the things that I did, what I said on the roadside with the person, and they complained. So the fact that they complained on what I said, and I really want to get an opinion from you guys if I was being rude or not. I know I got cleared because I'm not a rude person when it comes to on side of road unless you put me there. Prime example, last night, I had to work. I was out. Some kids got kicked out of what they call a quinceañera. 15-year-old girls, 15-year-old Hispanic girl's birthday party, right? That's what a quinceañera is. They get kicked out. The initial story comes out was that they weren't invited. And that's what they were telling us, because I guess they didn't want the truth to come out about what they were actually doing, right? So I said, hey, man, you know, it's time to go. He's all about this. How did I get kicked out when I was invited? Or how did I get kicked out when it was an open invitation? I said, I don't know, man. This ain't my party, but you got to go, right? We were sitting there, and I was letting him sit there because, he had people in there that he came to the party with, and he didn't have a ride. One of them was 16. One of them was 18. I didn't even know they were 16, and he was 16 until after I got him out of cuffs. But anyway, let's go past that. So I'm letting them stand outside front until his people come out there and they say, what, give him the keys to the car, go sit in the car, whatever. I don't know what he was gonna do. He wasn't gonna be standing up there that much longer. So they come and he says, hey, go get the girl's parents or whoever, or go get the girl, whoever's birthday it is. Tell her to come out here and tell me why I got kicked out or whatever, because I think they made a mistake. So they go in there and get her. And she comes out and she says, reason why you was kicked out is because my mom saw you drinking. She said it loud as hell. She said it so everybody could hear. My mom saw you drinking. You got to go. I said, oh boy, here we go. So he looks at me and tries to get her to be quiet and all that stuff. I said, see, man, look. Now, prior to her coming out there, one of the guys, he was like, hey, man, you seem pretty cool, man. You not like most cops out there. And I told him, I said, listen, I give back the same energy I'm getting. You seem mellowed out. You seem cool, because he had been drinking. I said, you seem cool. You seem mellowed out. I'm going to seem cool. I'm going to seem mellowed out. I said, but once it changes, I'm going to go there. You know what I'm saying? So after she came outside and she said that, I said, man, look, now you got to come over here and talk to me. And he was like, nah, I'm gonna leave. I said, no. You don't get it. Come over here and talk to me. And all I wanted to do was, all I was gonna say was, listen, I'm not gonna charge you with underage drinking. I could, but I'm not. I could, but I'm not. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna tell you is, you either leave the property or you go sit in a car. If I see you out on this property, I am going to arrest you for trespassing. That's all I was going to tell him. Well, instead of him walking back over there back towards me, he decided he was going to walk over back to the car and just stand at the car. I said, bro, let me tell you something. So and his other boy was just sitting there with me. He was like, I don't know what's up with him, man. I don't know why he acting like this. He a hothead, this and that. I said, okay, well, I'm telling you right now, you might want to holler at him. What is going on with the static? Can y'all hear that static? I can hear it in my headphones. Let me turn it down. All right. So I told him, I said, man, listen, this is what you do. Tell your boy to come back over here and talk to me. Because if he make my fat ass walk over there, it's going to be a problem. So he went over there, talked to him. He was talking to him. 5 minutes that went by. I said, okay, he ain't coming. So let me walk my ass over there. I walked down there, start talking to him. I said, look, man, I don't know why you making this. Hey, man, you ain't got to, you know, what is about? You know, I'm about to leave. This is and that. I said, but you about to leave ain't leaving. About don't mean you leaving. Man, I'm just saying, man, this is talk. I mean, just talking all kinds is just stupid. You know how them kids are, man. Stupid. So I said, either, man, listen, there ain't no sitting in the car no more. You got to get off the property. How am I gonna do that? Boy, you got shoes on and you got 2 legs. You better start to walking. I ain't walking nowhere. All right, turn around. Turn him around. Put him in cuffs. About to take him down to the jail for trespassing. Wouldn't give me his name, wouldn't give me his information, didn't know nothing about him. I had no idea where this boy stayed, where he was from, or anything like that. But once his sister saw him in cuffs, she came out there and talked to me. So I got his name and everything. She got him kind of calmed down. After she got him calmed down, I talked to him for a little bit, and I was like, bro, I don't know why you acting like this. I was cool with you at first. I don't know. Yeah, you're right, man. I'm sorry, man. I just don't understand why I got kicked out. I said, that's not for you to understand, and that's not for me to understand. What you need to understand is it's time for you to go. So I found out he's 16. And, you know, I really do not like messing with 16-year-olds, especially now because you got to do a whole bunch of other stuff. But even before, I did not like arresting 16-year-olds that quick because they're still in high school. They still got, you know, some stuff. And just this situation here was not one of those situations where I felt like there was need for me to prove a point. He can be stupid all he wants, but I didn't feel like it was need for me to prove a point because I wanted to go home. So I went ahead and I allowed him to, I took him out of the handcuffs, got his information, took him out of the handcuffs, told him to leave right now or he was going to go to jail. So somebody took him home. But I don't know where I was going with that. I just forgot after the whole story what I was going with that. But at the end of the day, just like I told that 18-year-old, you know, it's kind of crazy how I can be cool with you, right? You know I was just cool with you, but now that I'm putting you in cuffs because you acting stupid, it's my fault. And Triple Being, you are totally right. 16, 17, now they talk all kinds of sideways since they raised the age. Yes, but that is changing. See, let me tell you what happened with that. Let me tell you what happened with the raised age. Y'all hear me laugh? So, let me tell you what they did with the raised age. Raised the age was a bill that they passed where it allowed 16 and 17-year-olds to be considered juveniles, other than Chapter 20, which is traffic law. If they're driving and they do something, you can treat them just like an adult, right? You can give them a ticket for speeding, all that stuff. Everything else, larcenies, fights, stuff like that, those were considered juvenile. They had to be treated as a juvenile. So that means on this situation here, just prime example, this situation here. Once I found out he was 16, I bluffed him because that's what I do. I told him he better be glad I don't mess with 16-year-olds like that. But technically, there wasn't really much I could do because he was 16. I didn't know he was 16 until after I got him in the car. But with the raise the age, what they did was they got these 16, 17-year-olds thinking they untouchable, right? Now they about to repeal that daggone law. Boy, it's about to be something. It is about to be something. When I tell you it's gonna be something, man. So now we got people out here now that's thinking that they're untouchable 14, 15, they thinking when they get 18, it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be one of them things where you can't even touch, and then it's gonna be something totally different. It's not gonna be like that no more. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. They're writing, it's not, I don't know if it's getting repealed. Did I say repealed? I'm sorry. I don't know if it's getting repealed. I think they're writing different legislation to change the age, change the law. I think there are certain things, you know, I wouldn't mind it. You know what? That's not even right, because I was gonna say felonies, but that's not even right, because I've taken more guns off of 16-year-olds and can't do nothing. It is a hurt to, it hurts me. It really does hurt me to take a gun off a 16-year-old and have to return him back to his mother. That really does hurt me. And the reason why I say that is because the thought process that 16-year-old went to get the gun and what they were going to do is not just going to go away because he ran into me, right? So he's going to go back home, sneak back out, get another gun, and actually go through with it. That is more likely for a 16-year-old to do that than a grown man, somebody that has the thought process to process that correctly, right? That's why it hurts me, because I would so rather put a 16-year-old in jail, and that's what I would like. I would like for I would like for 16 and 17-year-olds to still be treated as adults, but their background is sealed just like a juvenile after 18. You can still put them in jail, you can still process them and all that stuff, but when they turn 18, all that stuff prior to that gets sealed, unless it was a heinous, but still that would be something that you would have to go through a judge for, you know what I'm saying, to keep it public. So that's why it hurts. That's why I don't like this law, because I think it's better for I think it is a lot better for a 16 and 17-year-old to get locked up than to just be returned back to their parents. Because apparently, and I don't say anything because I'm not a perfect parent, and I know my daughters have gotten away with some. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know they've gotten away with some stuff. But just to see a single mother that has two other children that she's dealing with, and then you have the 16-year-old boy where the boy knows the mom can't handle him physically, the mom can't handle him, so he's doing whatever he wants to do. She can't kick him out, because then she gets brought up under some kind of investigation, and then that goes against her background. So some of these parents are, they're in a rock and a hard place. So I throw no judgment on them, but on the fact of the matter is that there is a problem with these juveniles out here, man. I think harsher punishment when they're younger will help out in the long run than just leaving them out here and saying, hey, because you know what they're thinking now. A lot of these teens out here now that have had run-ins with the law, and they've been through the courts and all that stuff, and they get a slap on the wrist. They think court system ain't ish. They think the justice system ain't shit. That's basically what it comes down to. They think that if they do something, they're going to get a smack on the wrist, and then they're going to be let right back out. Because that's what most of them do. They get put on probation. The first thing they do, the first offense, they get put on probation. Second, third offense, they stay on probation longer. Fourth offense, as long as the offense is not a heinous crime or something that hurts somebody else or something like that, they get put on house arrest. Well, I mean, what is that going to do to a teen, a juvenile? That's going to make them think that when they get out here as an adult, they're going to be treated the same way, right? So why keep the system the same? Why not change it to where these mugs is scared to go to the juvenile justice system? They scared because they know they're going to be locked up for the rest of their juvenile life. Life in juvenile detention is until you turn 18. Period. And I'm not saying give it to everybody. But you got some 16, 15, 16-year-olds that got bodies on them. They done killed somebody, right? And they don't get locked up until they turn 18. Some of them get house arrest, probation. Shoot, there was one 16-year-old I arrested, got a gun off of him. He had 8 convictions of robbery. 8 convictions of robbery. Still in the juvenile system. You know? It's crazy. Tessa says, but all these kids need is a hug, sir. They should have got that hug when they were about 3 or 4 years old, son. I'm too late for a hug now. Hug a thug, ain't it? Ain't that what they say? Hug a thug. No, sir, not me. I ain't hugging no thug. No homo. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. Ha! Gay! Ha! Gay! I ain't doing it. Sorry. Can y'all hear me pretty good? How's my volume? I just want to make sure that's going all right. All right, guys. So I have opened the panel. Nobody has come in yet. Let me go ahead and pin it to the top. Pin message. There we go. Red lipstick vibes. Come on in here if you want to. Hey, anybody can come in. There were certain ones I wanted to come in, so because I wanted to introduce you to them. But they're not here no more. That's cool. But anybody that wants to come in, come on in. Anyway, so back on these juveniles. I want to know, what do you think the best situation or the best way to fix this juvenile problem? Because even with my girls know that if you broke the rules, it was harsh punishment, maximum punishment, regardless. It was maximal punishment. If I said no and you did it anyway, I'm setting fire to the ass cheeks, buddy. I'm sorry. Setting fire to them. What's going on with my? Okay. They're gonna be on fire. I mean, I'm not. I mean, you know. You know, Richard, I understand that. Step one is parents need to parent, not friends. I'm talking about past that. We all know that a lot of the problem is the parents. I still think we can fight it with a stronger juvenile justice system, a more strict, more, you know, because I'm gonna tell you this. This is what this the reason why I say that is because I just had a case where it was 3 juveniles that committed a whole bunch of crimes throughout the town, right? Got full confessions. You know, the only way I got those confessions because I scared them. They had never been through the system. They didn't know what the system was. So I scared them half to death about what was going to happen if they didn't cooperate. I told them, this might be wrong. I said, you want to see a show that's the closest thing to prison? Go watch Oz. I told them. I told their parents, I said, do they want to see what Oz is about? Nope, they don't. I said, let them watch Oz. They'll see what it's about. Scared those kids I know I scared them half to death because I just had a court case with them I was just in court with them last week, and they were the kindest kids you could ever meet. Like, they were in court, they were like, but you know, the thing about it is, I know that all that's going to change after this process goes through, because they're going to know ain't nothing going to happen to them. That's the thing that really eats me up. It's like, I know that I'm not going to get the same cooperation the next time. And they're going to know what the system is when it comes to this next time. And they're going to be hellions until, if they do it again. If they do it again, I'm not saying they are, but this might have helped them. Very slim, but it might have. But I know that if they realize this justice system when it comes to the juveniles ain't about nothing, they're gonna be hellions till they turn 18. I was about to say 16. I'm so stuck in the old ways. They are gonna be hellions until they turn 18. That's the problem. So I don't know exactly what to do, man. I've tried to think of ways. You know, at my department, we've got in my town, we have a high large black community. I would say a large black community with 70% of the population is black community. So I came up with something. Mike, where I will answer that question here in just a minute. Let me finish my thought. So I thought about a system a program that we could come up with. I was going to use interns. I was going to try to use interns from the local college in Livingstone. The not counseling, but the oh man, it's slipped my mind. The ones that deal with kids, the profession that deals with kids, social workers. The ones that are in a social worker program, I was going to give them an office, a computer, and all that stuff to do an internship where they could come and the families in the community could get free counseling from somebody that is going through. And it wouldn't be like counseling. It would just be somebody to listen and maybe give some pointers or something to help them out with or something like that. You know how quick they shot that down? Legal liability. And I understand that, man, but we got to do something for these kids, man. And these parents, because these parents, they about crazy as hell too. I done met a few parents out here, boy, they own some me time. So it is what it is, man. Mike Ware asked, how do you feel about correctional officers? I love them. They do a job I'd never do. I love correctional officers. I like that they're in there babysitting the inmates. That is just something that I could not do myself. I couldn't do it. There ain't no way. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't. If somebody told me that the only way I could be in law enforcement is to work in a jail, shit on that, buddy. I'm out.
Bruh.
Mm-mm. Nope, can't do it. I think corrections officers are correct. One thing I think about correctional officers is they're starting to be overworked because there's such a shortage. Every single jail that I know about, I associate with, every sheriff that I associate with, that I know, and I know a few. I know a few sheriffs that I actually like. They call me at least 2 or 3 times a month. And they're not deputies, they are the sheriff. Their main complaint, and you know, it's really what helped me through my time at the department I'm at now. Their main complaint is they can't find people to work. The only difference is I got a sheriff now who's down almost 300. He's down almost 300. No, it's not 300. About 150 officers, right? He's down 150 officers. The only difference is his 150 officers is different from my 2 officers that I lose. You know what I'm saying? It's totally different. Those percentages don't even add up. You know what I'm saying? He can lose 150 officers, still be able to, operate. If I lose 3, I'm down. I'm down bad, boy. I'm down bad. It's bad for me. Triple Bean. Listen, Triple Bean know a little bit about some stuff. Triple Bean, who are you? I'd like to meet you, sir. I want to say you're LEO, but I don't know for sure. If you're who I think you are, I think I know who you are. I don't know exactly who you are, but I think I know who you are. Triple Bean. I knew it. Yep, my man, I texted yesterday. Triple Bean, what's up, Sarge? That's my man Sarge right there, man. Good to see you. Appreciate you coming. Hopefully one day I can get you up here to talk with me, man. I really want to start bringing officers up here. Now, I'm not going to let you know where they work, what their name is, no crap like that. I'll let you know what position they work, what they do, and all that stuff. But I ain't going to be giving out the information because you got a lot of departments that do not want their officers on social media, right? So it's just one of those things. Triple Bean, man, we'll talk. You keep in touch, buddy. And like I told you, that number I gave you is my personal number. You text me whenever. You text me, man. And we'll do it. Mike Ware, he says, I'm a correctional officer and want to cross over to police. It should be easy. It depends on if you work for the State Department of Corrections. I don't even know what state you're in. North Carolina here, most sheriff's departments have if you're a correctional officer, I don't know if there's somebody tell me this. Triple Bean, you might be able to help me. Is there a difference between a correctional officer and a detention officer? Does one work for the state? Because I know detention officers usually address themselves as detention officers if they work for the state. Or no, correction officers if they work for the state. Detention if they work for the sheriff. Ray Official, there is no cutoff date. A cutoff age for officers in my department. There's no cutoff age. Anybody, if you're able and willing, I'll hire you. There's no cutoff age for the state. You can go through the academy at any time you want to. I don't know if they're going to be changing that though, because they have made a lot of changes in the academy for 2024 or 2025. I know there are some rule changes that are changing for 2024, but I don't know if they've actually changed the academy. So the academy is going from like 600 and something odd hours to like 900 and something odd hours now. So it's going to be about almost a 6-month academy now here in North Carolina, which is devastating to me because I can't pay nobody to go through no academy. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. Mike, Ware, I appreciate you, man. I really do appreciate you. So Mike Ware is in Florida. I don't know exactly how Florida works. You might need to research that, but usually if you work for a sheriff's department, they'll put you through the academy. Here in North Carolina anyway. They'll put you through the department. Victim Olympics. What's going on, man? It's good to see you over here. Hey, Gray Man, go ahead and hit that link, man. Come on up here, man. I ain't seen you in a while, bro. Come on up here. Let's talk. Let's chop it up. Don't say no. Hit it. If you don't, I'm taking out warrants on you. Let's do it right now. Come on. Anyway, Gray Man says, what's the firearm qualification requirements in your department? So for the state requires that you hit a 70% on the firearms qualification. For my department, it is 80. I I think next year or it's either 2024 or 2025. The state's changing that qualification to 80. I'm going up to 85%. All right. For me to send anybody to a SWAT school, they have to be able to qualify at a 95% 3 times in a row. That's any kind of SWAT school or anything like that. If you want to go to a firearms instructor school, you got to score 100 every time we go up there, or at least one bullet, or like a 99.8, 98.9 or something. It's got to be up there. Rich Bully, what's going on, man? It's good to see you, bro. Yep, that is another thing, Triple Bean. They are taking out the 25-yard shot. They're doing the 15. But the reason why they're going up is because it's more the shooting is not. The course is just going to change, Triple Bean. I don't know if they told you exactly how the course is going to change. But that center mass target, it's not going to be anymore, man. They're changing like, and I don't want to. I see you back there, brother. I'll bring you up in just a minute. I don't want to go too far into it because what North Carolina did, they sent out all the new changes to firearms instructors in North Carolina. Whoever's been a firearm instructor, they sent out the new changes and everything. They let us see what the changes were. They let us see, not see that we read what the changes were. We read what the actual firing was going to be for the qualification. And I think it's going to get some officers hurt. And I wrote a letter to them. A lot of guys wrote letters to them telling them that this course of fire is going to get officers hurt. So I am a little concerned about that when it comes down to it, man, about how things are going to work in that qualification. Great man, what's going on, baby?
Hey, what's going on? How you been, man?
And I've been all right, man. I've been all right. How you been?
Not too bad. It's good.
Boy, you sure look dark in that daggone screen, boy. You
sure
look dark.
Because I got like the light in the back, and then my camera's not. So yeah.
Darkness. What's going on, man? How you been?
Not bad, man. Just maintaining, keeping it going. Not too much going on. I need to get down there and see you down in North Carolina, man, so we can hook up.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, down there every once in a while.
You let me know. Hey, you're gonna have to let me know a little bit sooner now because my schedule is a little crazy.
Yeah, definitely. So
I'm gonna have to make sure I get off, but my schedule a little crazy now, man. If y'all don't know Gray Man, y'all go follow Gray Man on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to him. Make sure you let him know I sent you over there. Great man. Cigar smoker, fellow cigar smoker. You still smoking cigars?
Still smoking the cigars.
Still smoking the cigars, shooting the guns. Still got your gun reviews and all that stuff going on too.
Yep.
What's going on, man? I didn't see Daryl Long. Where you come from? My man Daryl Long.
What stick you got lit up right now?
Oh, this legal. A little legal provider. Just a little legal.
Okay.
My last one, I did not want to smoke, but I did because I had to show off.
I'm a big Liga fan. So.
Oh, I am too.
Hey, you put me on to that LFD. Now I'm big on the LFD.
Which one you like?
I like the Chapter 1. I like the Lennox and the Airbender.
That Chapter 1 is freaking fun. If you can find real Chapter 1s, a lot of them are fakes now.
Okay.
But if you find a real Chapter 1, you got a good stick.
Okay.
And you're gonna pay for it. I mean, they're not cheap, but
yeah,
good sticks, man.
And that Lennox, that's probably my favorite one.
Oh yeah. See, I like the double arrow. I like the chisel and the double arrow.
Yeah. That double arrow made me a little sick one time when I smoked.
Hey, boy, you gotta step your game up. Get your weight up, boy. Get your weight up.
Yeah, something, right?
Yeah, man. Great man, they said drop the link for your YouTube, bro. Drop it in the comment section.
Oh, okay.
Joe Morgan, man, you need to be on that, bro. You're supposed to be. You're one of my. I need. Okay, listen. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to be a moderator. I need some moderators that's gonna be able to find these links. Now, Joe got the position because he's an honorary member. Joe has been literally my first video. He was commenting. Joe Morgan he's been with me since, so he's got that hands down. See, Joe on it. He already dropped it.
Yeah, you got it for me.
Yeah, he got it.
Appreciate it, Joe.
I knew you was gonna have a hard time finding it because I have a hard time finding mine. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you, Joe.
But yeah, so if you want to be a moderator, man, just hit the one in the chat. I mean, I'm not gonna make you a moderator just right off unless I know you. But yeah, CNT Design and Arms. What's going on? But yeah, so back on the cigars. Have you started drinking coffee with them yet?
Well, you know what? I don't like coffee, but I like lattes, some other coffee products, but not straight coffee. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah. See, I did it. I had this guy that was used to go to the one of my cigar lounges I used to go to. He was a 100% Cuban. And he only would drink espresso with his cigars.
Okay.
That's all he drank was espresso. Little small cups of espresso. I tried that one time. I've been hooked ever since. Now I don't know how to make espresso, so I just drink regular coffee. Been hooked ever since.
See, I used to always think you had to drink bourbon or something like that. But yeah, man, even what I drank for the first time last night that I tried, and it's nothing big, but it was the first time, was ginger beer with a cigar.
Hey man, there's a lot of things I drink. I like drinking, like if I need to pick me up real fast and I'm gonna drink an energy drink. Some of them energy drinks go good with cigars.
We go with it. Okay.
Yeah, so you got a lot of things that go good with cigars, man. Yeah. I don't like a lot of people like lemonade. I can't stand lemonade with cigars. I just can't. I can't do lemonade. But anyway, what you got going on, man? What's been updated on your channel?
You know what, man? I've been kind of like you in a sense. I've been super busy, so I haven't been updating it as much. I keep saying I'm gonna make more videos, and then I get dragged down by something else. But my plan is to get it stepped up here soon. The last couple things I did was just some basic stuff, like I got a new EDC, that kind of stuff that I'm actually loving right now.
What is it?
Staccato C2.
That's staccato.
Yeah, that's C2, man.
You gotta put your pinky up and say it. That's staccato, man.
I'm not gonna go that far, but yeah,
you bougie now. I know you bougie. That's okay.
It's nice. Right. Now I followed that up with a Smith & Wesson 2.0 though. So you know what I mean? I didn't go too far.
You had to go with the diamond and then straight to trash. That's what you
You don't like that 2.0?
Man, heck, I don't like. You know what? Smith & Wesson. I don't like the shields, but I love their 5906s, the old steel ones.
Yeah.
I love that series of gun. I got a couple of those. My local, the department, Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, they used to carry those Smith & Wesson like 5906s, and some of them had the 4046. And the first gun I ever bought was a 5906.
Okay.
So,
well,
I like that, but as far as the shield, I really don't like the shield.
I didn't get the shield. I got the M&P9, the metal, with the metal frame. It's the M&P9.
It's still built like a shield.
I mean,
no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. It's built like
family, but it's big.
Right. It's not the size of the shield, but it's the same. It's the same makeup. I don't like that whole.
You don't like the M&P line.
M&P. I don't like the Yeah, that's what it is. The M&P. I don't like the whole M&P family. I don't shoot it well.
Yeah, I like it. I have been wanting an M&P9 for a long time, like for years, and I just never really bought one, and never, for whatever reason. And then they came out with the metal, so I was like, let me try it, because I like, like the SIGs with the metal frames.
Yeah, I like all metal guns, man. I love all metal guns. That's why I like that daggone Springfield so much. That Prodigy.
Oh yeah.
Man, that thing shoots like a dream, boy.
You didn't have no hiccups either, I saw.
No, but see, I was raised on 1911s.
Yeah, I love a 1911.
Richard Tester, you better. I'm not even going to acknowledge him. Anyway, let's move on. So I was raised with 1911s.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I've ever had a malfunction with a 1911, a new 1911, was because it was dry.
Okay.
So what I did was I took it out the box and I oiled it up because it was dry out the box. It was a little dry. You could tell it was a little dry too because the way the way the gun racked, it was dry. And I was just like, I have a Smith & Wesson 1911. It's a silver one. I did a review on it. But I literally went. I took the gun. I bought it used. I cleaned it, oiled it, all that stuff. When I did the review, I was 2,500 rounds in, and the slide was sticking. But that's all it was doing because it was so dirty. I didn't oil it after 2,500 rounds. I didn't oil it at all. I didn't do anything. I just want to know how far I could go with before a malfunction.
You bought it brand new?
No, I bought it used.
Okay.
I bought it used, and I put a compensator on it. So that's going to put more. That's going to put more blowback, a little bit more blowback on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. So I went 2,500, and only thing that I could tell was going on, it didn't malfunction. The slide was sticking, so it would take longer for the slide to go back home. Other than that, I didn't have no problems with it, and it was a 45. You know what I'm saying? So it was a slower bullet, more powder, and all that stuff. But I haven't had no problems I haven't had any problems with any of my 1911s, other than it rusting. When my Kimber rusted because I had whole grips on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta watch those whole grips.
I love a 1911.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. 1911s and ARs, they have to run wet.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, wet. Like sometimes, especially with an AR, if I don't clean it, after I clean it, when I rack it, if I don't see a little bit of oil splashing off of that daggone thing when I'm racking it, just to make sure it's functioning right, I ain't wet it enough. It ain't wet enough.
That's why I like them AKs. That's why I like that AK. Just run it dirty.
The AKs do run that regardless of what's going on with them, man. I swear to God, I done seen AKs run. Man, you could have a daggone almost slightly bent barrel, and that thing will run. You ain't gonna hit nothing, but it's gonna run. It's gonna scare some people.
I picked up not too long ago a Zastava M50, the Z-Pap.
Nice.
It's pretty nice. I still need to do a video on it, but I love the way it runs. It's a little heavy. It's got that big whatchamacallit on the front. It's pretty heavy.
But a lot of people, that's what AKs were meant to be heavy.
Yeah.
They were meant to be lay down spray guns. You know what I'm saying? That's what AKs were meant to be. And ARs were more of an infantry running gun kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, boy, anybody else want to come up? Because like I told y'all, I'm struggling. Just Andrea, how you doing, lady? I hope all is well. Listen, Andrea, I'm gonna put this out there. When you gonna send me another invite to your show? So I don't know if you guys know, Great Man. I don't know if you know, but I've been going on to other YouTube channels and talking it up with them, chopping it up with them outside of the 2A community, more in the manosphere kind of community. Because I'm a man's man. You know what I'm saying? Ladies love me. I'm LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I go over there and I give them my side of what I think. And it's went pretty well over there. I've been received pretty well by a lot of people. So just Andrea, send me an invite, please. Next time you have a show, I want to come over there and chop it up some more.
Now what kind of show is she doing?
So just Andrea she's a sports buff.
Okay.
Now she knows more about sports than I do. Not when it comes to football, but she knows more about basketball. She follows all the other stuff. The only thing I follow is football.
Okay, yeah.
She knows about all that other stuff. But she does like talks on men and women relationships, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
How men should act. See, they like me because
I got.
I'm kind of a no nonsense type of person.
Yeah.
It's more of a, if you ain't acting right, I'm sorry, you got to go. And she's more of a, can't you just give him a chance? And I'm like, hell no.
Right.
He got to go. Queen Tone, what's going on, baby? Oh, big head. I'm getting a lot of people from over there coming over to this side, man. It's all love though, man. They coming over here because they love your boy, LL Cool J.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm about to check Just Andrea out.
Yeah, Just Andrea. Y'all check out her show. I don't know if it's under Justin. It is under Just Andrea. Yeah, it is. I don't have a link to it, but y'all check out her show. Hey, Joe, if you could drop the Andrea and Team Fatty links.
Yeah.
Team Fatty, he talks more about the same things, what's going on in the community as far as the Black community and issues with women and, how women be acting and how men act sometimes and, just that kind of stuff. If you wanting something different from that 2A kind of thing, I had to get away from the 2A for a little bit because there was a lot of drama going on.
Yeah. Yep.
Now there's a lot of drama going over there, so I'm coming back. So I'll try to stay away from drama, man. I just try to stay away from drama, man.
And that's a task in itself.
Here we go. Hold on. Cam up just real quick so I can make sure it's you. Just Andrea, just cam up real quick so I can make sure it's you. That's all. I'm gonna take you back. You can take off the camera once I see you. I just gotta verify. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, great man.
Yep.
All right, I got you. All right, here we go.
Okay, look, Diesel.
Hey, boo.
Hey, how you doing? Okay,
I'm doing good.
Look, I do know about football too. Okay, you just choose the wrong team. That's your problem, not mine.
You don't know more than me. I'm just saying. See, me and her went back and forth because she was all up on that daggone, what was it, the Tom Brady joint?
Yes.
And she was not feeling my answer.
Because your answer was probably wrong. If you make a promise to your wife that I'm gonna get up my career after we've been rolling with you for a minute, and the problem is, I think Giselle wanted a regular life, and she wanted her husband in the studio.
If she wanted a regular wife, she should have married a regular man. Yeah, sorry,
she knew
she wanted a regular life. You need to marry a regular dude, be broke, and work check to check. I'm sorry.
So I'm gonna ask you a question, Diesel. If I was married to you and you said, "Baby, I'm gonna finish this last year with the police force," and then you change your mind, what I supposed to do? Are you gonna send me on a 7-day cruise in the Dominican Republic so make me happy? You gonna do something to make me happy and pay for what you said you was gonna do?
If my last year was becoming the chief of a police department, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was my last year. I've been 29 years in law enforcement, working hard. And they told me, if you do 5 more years, we'll make you the chief. You know what's going to happen? Either you going to be there or FBI, open up! You getting out.
Yep.
But I see me, I'm a different person. I would make my husband choose, but what he would be doing is making sure he sent me on some cruise.
No, he wouldn't. No, I wouldn't even do that either. I wouldn't do that either. I wouldn't do that either. Because what you're doing is you're trying to say that I did something bad, so you need to be rewarded for it. That's not gonna happen.
You changed your mind on me in the middle of the game plan.
I don't care. I'm the man. I run this. Listen. This is the thing that I don't get about a lot of these, and I don't know why we're going here on my channel. See, you bring a woman up on the panel and she just changes the whole atmosphere. You see how this happened? You see how this
happens? Yep.
But I don't know why women don't know what they get. They act like they don't know what they're getting into when they then dated a dude for a year to 5 years before you get married. You know what kind of game time I'm on. If you're dealing with me, you know it's my way. This is what I'm doing. Period. Especially if it's not gonna do anything but help us out. That's going to be more money on the table.
I'm saying is, to say you're not hearing what I'm saying is, I'm saying is I wouldn't have a problem with that. But baby, don't you think I need to be baby, if you gonna change the game moment in the middle of the turn, it's okay. But I think I should be in love with more than
listen, this is the thing about it though. It's not like we ain't going on trips as it is when I was working. You just because I'm planning on working 5 more years don't mean you get to go on more trips. It's going to stay the same. Everything's going to stay the same. Our trips, we're going to be able to spend a lot more money because I'm making more money. But you ain't going to take no extra trips just because you feel like I've done wrong and changed up the game. And no, that's not going to happen.
So you could change up the game, but I can't change up the game. Is that right?
Change up the game how?
Because I think Giselle is going back modeling and stuff. I think, now that she divorced him, she don't going back to modeling. She don't move to the other side of the country. I don't think she lives in the United States.
They're not even married no more though, so it don't matter if she changed up the game.
Yeah.
This is the thing about it though. You can't listen. I don't get why people think that it's okay to put us men in a situation where we have to be the provider. We have to do this. We have to make sure y'all are good, right? Because your money don't mean nothing to us, right? That's how it's supposed to be. Correct?
Right.
Okay. So why should your game plan be allowed to change if your money don't mean nothing to me? It ain't fair. There ain't nothing fair when it comes to men and women. It ain't fair. You got to push a whole big old head like Gray Man's out of you. And I don't. That ain't fair. But this is life. This is how it is. Men and women ain't the same. We ain't on the same playing field. That's just what it is. If you going for somebody you want to be an alpha male to take care of you, you got to follow his lead, period. That's just what it is. Gray Man, what do you think?
I think that's especially true when you're talking about Tom Brady and people on that level. That's a whole.
I don't think about anybody. I think it's anybody. If you're talking about somebody that is providing for his family, right? Mm-hmm. And that female is not doing anything but staying at home, taking care of kids. And I'm not diminishing it like it's nothing. But the only thing that she does is stay at home, take care of kids, and go on trips, right? If you knew how stressful it was to be the chief of a police department just to make sure you can go on those trips, and I'm willing to go another 5 years, Tom Brady playing football, 400-pound men jumping on him. This ain't, y'all, people are acting like this is an easy decision for him.
Yeah, but you're acting like you're putting, look, my thing is you're putting your life on the line, and Tom Brady is putting his life on the line because one hit can be paralyzed, whatever. And Diesel, let's be honest and tell the truth too. You putting your life online, one call, one domestic violence, whatever, you could be gone too. So y'all are in both dangerous situations. And I'm gonna respect my husband because he put his life on the line. And all I'm saying is, baby, I'm feared for you. And maybe she had a feeling that how many more hits he gonna take that I might not have him to say. And if I was your wife, I would feel like maybe one of these days I'm gonna get that fucking call, or I'm gonna get that front door knocking at my and them men in them black suits saying my husband is no longer here. Okay, that's FBI, open up! FBI, open up! I'm gonna get you.
So look, listen. I'm gonna say this last thing, then we're gonna move on because this ain't that type of channel, Andrew.
Okay.
This ain't that type of channel now. You bring this shit over here. This ain't that type. Oh my God, look who in the background. Let me bring him up real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna say this. Andrea.
Yes.
If you think you're gonna be happier without me, go ahead. Bye. If you think you're gonna be happier, and I think that's really what it came down. Giselle got a taste of some new PP. That's why it was so easy for her to. This man played 1 year for $13 million. One. And that's not even talking about the money you get for going to the playoffs, the money you get because you get bonuses for winning each playoff game. My brother went to the Super Bowl, and his when he played for the New York Giants, he got an extra check every time they won in the playoffs. So this man making some money. If you think you're gonna be happier, bye-bye. Head, what's going on, Head?
What's up?
Hey man, take the hat off.
No, I ain't doing it.
Y'all know who Gasoline TV is. I done had him on a couple of my ride along videos. Me and him but we work together again. He decided to come and help me out at my department, work for me full time. I mean part-time. So that's what's up.
How many guys?
Appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you coming. You said what?
How many guys you up to now?
1, 2, 3 full-time and 8 part-time.
What's capacity? Like what would you like to be?
I have 8 full-time positions.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 8
You still a ways off then.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I got one guy that's waiting on his certification now. I got another guy that I started his background on. He's already certified. So if I can get those 2 going, I'll be at least at 24-hour coverage. But that's where my ultimate goal is try to get to 24-hour coverage. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. So what you up to, man?
Did that guy pan out?
Which one?
The older guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I worked with him at another department, so I know him. Yeah, so I ain't worried. I know his background's good. He just took some time off, so we're gonna have to work through that.
Outside of this year?
We don't know because he got sworn in with a sheriff's department and they never sent his paperwork up. But he has the oath of office and all that stuff from the magistrate's office, from the clerk's office. So he was sworn in. They just never sent it up. So what I'm hoping is they will honor it and say he's been held since then, because they never sent up an F5 for him either. So yeah, that's what I'm going through with him. I have to work through that and try to figure that out.
Boy, it can't be easy, can it?
It can't be easy for some reason, man. And the state has changed submissions so much. They came out with something last week on how we got to do things differently on something else, man. So it's always a change or something going on. What you up to today, man? Just chilling?
Chilling. I was gonna go to the range, but the clouds and stuff.
It looked like it's gonna rain.
Looks like it's gonna pour down rain.
Yeah, I'm hoping it don't. My dogs are still outside.
Yeah. Did you figure out the car issue?
Yeah, I got another car ordered. I'm ordering another Destroyer gray. We're gonna keep our cars gray. That's right.
Looks good, man. I'm gonna tell you, that's one of the best decals.
Hey man, hey listen, I need to submit it for the best car in show because we're gonna win.
Mark told me he wants to do a different background or different decals now.
Oh, now he wants to do a different background decal now, huh? Is that what? This man been the chief for what, 13 years? And now all of a sudden he wants to do a different decal. I inspire people, guys. Do y'all hear this? I am an inspiration to a lot. Just know that. Right? Did you hear my earlier conversation about juveniles?
Me, no, I just got logged on.
Oh, okay. CNT Design. We're in North Carolina, man.
North Carolina.
See, we ain't talking about men and women stuff on this channel. I'm not going there because y'all can hear me talk about that on other channels. Team Fatty is one of the channels I go to a lot, and I talk to them about relationship stuff and all that stuff. So I'm not going to do that on this channel. This one is straight for 2A and law enforcement. That's it.
Don't forget your cigars.
And cigars. I don't like to announce that because that'll get you demonetized quick.
Yeah. My bad.
I mean, it'll get you demonetized so quick. So I don't really like to put that out there that I just like to smoke them. I don't like to acknowledge them a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And you know, as you saw the conversation that we were having, I got away from it as soon as I could. But yeah, I try
So
to keep
what's your favorite gun for a woman to protect her family and
whatever she feels most comfortable with. I really cannot. A lot of people ask me that. A lot of people ask me, what's the best gun? And, you know, Andrea,
yes,
you know, listen,
yes,
different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? You might like that. I mean, you might like a big gun in your hands. You might like it. Size matters.
okay.
You know, so I can't tell you.
You know, my son and my daughter and my ex-husband are gun owners, and we all had a conversation. And my son's been saying, "Mom, I just feel like you should own a gun." And I was like, I don't think that it's. I have kids, and I don't have a problem having it for security and everything. I just don't know, could I pull the trigger if somebody, you know, take a life? I'm always helping with life, and so my son was like, "Mom, it's you or them." And so I'm going to the gun range and learn how to shoot. But
Have you ever shot a gun before?
No, I haven't.
Man, listen, you have to. Okay, so let me tell you this.
Okay.
Keeping a very open mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep a very open mind about it. Don't be closed off to the gun.
Okay.
Most women that have never shot a gun before love it after the first time.
Okay.
That's just like the first time trying me. They love it from that point on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Diesel, you full of yourself today.
what's
Right?
wrong? What you talking about? What's going on? What I say?
You feeling yourself?
What's
What
I say? I'm just making a comment. Damn. Stop.
Tell it like it is, right?
Don't steal my vibe. Don't steal my vibe. Don't steal my vibe. Anyways, but like I said, you know, I can't. I love to tell females, go shoot. Get somebody to go with you the first time that really knows what they're talking about, right?
Okay.
That can help you shoot, and then go back and rent different guns to see which one you like best. Because a lot of these gun ranges and stuff, they have gun rentals. Now with me, if it was me, I could take you and I could get you a bunch of different sizes and you can, you know what I'm saying, try those. But if you don't have access to a person like me that has a bunch of guns, you can always go to a gun range and they have rentals that you can try out. A lot of the guys at the gun ranges, they're going to tell you certain stuff that I really do not like. One is like, you need to buy this or you need to buy that without even knowing. If anybody ever comes to you and says you should buy this without even knowing you or having gone to the range with you, they do not know what they're talking about. Okay. So don't take what they say for a grain of salt.
Okay.
So go ahead.
What state is she in?
California, Sacramento.
Oh.
Ooh. Good luck. Good luck.
She needs a gun. Still needs a gun. I mean,
I agree.
You know,
California is one of the strictest states for gun ownership.
Oh.
Let me add this too as well, because I did the same thing with like my mom, my daughter, so on and so forth. Is don't just go to a gun dealer and hold a gun and go, you know what, this one feels great in my hand, because you can feel that it might feel great in your hand standing there on the floor, but then once you shoot it, totally different.
You got the most recoil.
Okay.
I will tell you that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, I was gonna say I did a thing with my daughter and my wife or my mom where I gave them 3 or 4 guns, and I told them to pick each one up, see which one feels the best, and tell me which one feels the best. This is before they shot it. They picked it. Then I made them shoot all 4 of them, and then their selection was different after they shot them. So just feeling it on the floor is not enough. I mean, it's better than nothing, but it's not the absolute final decision that you make, you know what I mean, that you decide on.
Okay. You know, I've been having this conversation with my kids. My kids are gun owners and my ex-husband, because the dad told them how to shoot. But they always ask me every time my son gets a new gun, he was like, "Mom, I just feel like you should own a gun." And I was like,
"Where's your son at? Is he in California also?"
Yeah, they're both here. My daughter and my son's here. And he was like, "Mom," they got their guns when they turned 21. They got their guns when they turned 21. And he was like, "Mom, I just feels like you should own one." And I was like, "Yeah, but sometimes I feel like people who have guns are, they shoot first and kill. And my son says, "Mom, you gotta shoot. You have to shoot. You gotta kill. It doesn't. It's either you or them." And I was like, I take care of kids, so I help preserve life. I don't want to take somebody's life. And he was like, your thinking is wrong.
This is how you got to understand it. And I get exactly what you're saying, but sometimes you have to take a life to preserve many lives.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't know what other life that person might take after they take yours.
Okay.
So, and that's how you need to look at it, especially if the person is already trying to take your life unprovoked. There's no reason for that. You get what I'm saying? So who else are they trying to take unprovoked?
So compartmentalize it.
Okay.
That's what he's trying to say to make it easy. You got to separate your thinking.
Okay.
So I get exactly what you're saying, but we're talking about situations to where, like, you're not the type of person to just start a fight with somebody or just walk up to somebody and assault them, right?
No.
So if somebody is trying to assault you or hurt you or harm you, it's unprovoked on your side.
Yes.
So I mean, you can't put that in the same bucket as you try and preserve a kid's life or something like that. Because some of these kids, man, listen.
Yes. Some of the kids,
boy.
I'm always, as my job is rewarding, and I always want my kids to live and everything. But sometimes I think it could be a bad seed, and just there's no changing. And
sometimes it ain't kids. I mean, I wouldn't say every time it's going to be a kid, but sometimes it's adults doing stupid shit.
Those two. What else I would say is, if you're still struggling with the whole, I don't want to take a life, that kind of thing, just put that out of your mind and go to the range for the sake of the sport, just to get some experience shooting. Have a good time with your son, that kind of stuff. And then as you're doing that, you could think more about that other stuff and process that other stuff. But just go to the range, just look at it as a time that you spend it with your son. And like Diesel said, I guarantee you, once you do it one time, you're going to enjoy it and you're going to want to go back.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay. Well, I appreciate y'all opinions, and I appreciate it. Because he keep asking me, and I keep adamant and saying no. But I just told him yesterday, I think I will go with him and see. I'll be more open.
You've got the you've been brainwashed by California. You've been pretty much brainwashed.
Well, let me ask you this: what is the process in California to get a gun?
I think my son, we had to do a background check. We had they had a gun safety class. They had to pass it and all that to get it. Yeah.
And then even with that, you can't carry it out really outside the house, right?
As long as it's
y'all have concealed carry there?
Yeah, they do.
Yes.
But you have to get it specially. You have to get a special letter from like an official or something like that.
No, we're not a carrying state. We're not a carrying state like that. No, we're not. But
hey, Fatty, come up here, man. Click on the link. I want to holler at you, real. I want to chop it up with you.
We're not a carrying state, but we're allowed to have it. But I worry about my son. Sometimes he works at night as a security guard, and so I worry about him at nighttime. And that's the reason he got his gun. And so I just worry about bullets don't got no name. I worry about my daughter. She works at night too, and so she has her gun. And I just feel like people are just, I don't know, gun crazy, and they'll shoot to kill first. They'll just hurt you.
Well, and that's a misconception. That is a huge misconception.
Okay.
Yeah, Fatty, I can get you cam down. Come on up. So majority of gun owners are not like that.
Okay.
Majority of the gun owners that we're talking about go out, they buy their gun, they put the gun in their name, so they're not willing to just go out and shoot first. because that gun is going to be connected to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we're talking. You're. That's why I say you're kind of brainwashed, because California puts out more of the that rhetoric that you have, right? Mm-hmm. They don't, especially media and news outlets over in California. That's there. Most of the shootings that go over there are gang-related shootings, and the guns are obtained illegally. Right. So if you are constantly seeing that in your news, that's the kind of the message that you're getting, is most people with guns do that. When you have a lot of law-abiding citizens that have guns, you just don't know they have guns because y'all are not a carry state, right? So you don't know they have guns, but they have guns and they haven't shot anybody. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say you just need to go into it with an open mind. Okay. And try to keep it as open as you can, and not close down to the worst of the worst that could happen with you having a gun. Okay. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, and Gasoline TV, he's been in it also. I haven't answered many calls to where a person has had to defend themselves in a home with a gun. Okay. And Gasoline, he's been in it, what, 8 years, 9 years?
8 years.
8 years. 8 years. I don't know if he's answered. I've answered a couple. I mean, you know, in my 20 years, I've answered a couple, but majority of the time they got guns in their houses, and they don't have to use them or anything like that. So,
you know, I just thought about today's my 8-year anniversary.
Of what?
8 years law enforcement.
Oh, man, that's good, man.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Well, I thank you, Diesel. I thanks for coming up. And I haven't been on YouTube for a while because I was celebrating spring break with my children, and my daughter turned 10 years old, and I'm a grandmother now, and so I've been really spending time with them, and I'm about to go on vacation to a New Edition concert, so with my girls, and so I just been.
So Andrew, let me ask you one question before you leave. Am I gonna see you on this Freaknik video?
No, my mama and dad would have beat my behind. Okay, they would allow me to be in Atlanta. Okay, but you know what? I do find it funny. Oh my God! I was out there, but I hope they don't see me. Like, if you was out in the hot Atlanta, you should have been there.
It's going. Oh man. I can't wait.
I got some friends who said it was down there at that time, and they said it was wild. So I'm glad I wasn't out there, because my mama and daddy would have
I was too young to go, but yeah, I sure wanted to.
I was too young, and I'm glad I didn't experience that. Sometimes you should wait until you.
You know who we gonna see out there? Native Girl gonna be out there. Though. I know Native Girl was there.
Yeah. No, you're not gonna see me on there, because that's the kind of stuff I'm not gonna. Ain't nobody gonna see nothing. If I was acting wild, you weren't gonna see that. Okay. I just think sometimes when you're on vacation, put the cameras down, just have some fun.
Right.
And everything don't have to be on social media and YouTube. Okay.
You're right.
Well,
it's hard these days though.
Yeah, it is. Well, take care, you guys. Y'all take care. Okay.
You too. Appreciate you coming.
I'll see you in DM and tell you when I'm next time I have my next show. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, do it.
Bye-bye.
So Triple Bean says, I really wish concealed carry classes would include more training for citizens on situational awareness. Well, so you know what though? I wish concealed carry classes just taught the basic law of concealed carry in North Carolina. Head, how many people have you pulled over that had a concealed carry and didn't let you know before? Like, there's so many people that don't know the law when it comes to concealed carry. I just wish they would teach basic law when it came to concealed carry. That's it. That's why I tell people, man, watch who you're getting your training from. Because it is, man.
I agree with you.
It's bad.
It's a lot. There's a lot of people that don't know. And there's a lot of
and I feel bad with charging them, because I don't know. I know there are a lot of NRA. See, North Carolina messed up when they allowed NRA teach that concealed carry. When it comes down to it, I think the only people that should be allowed to teach concealed carry are the ones that are enforcing the law, period.
So let me ask this. So I know, like here in Pennsylvania, the law says that if, you get pulled over, you need to inform the police officer, which I've done. If you don't do that, there is a charge for that, I'm assuming. What is that charge?
It's carrying a concealed weapon.
Carrying a
Here.
concealed weapon.
That's it.
Yep.
Even if you're licensed.
Okay.
Even if you're licensed, because you're not complying to what the law says.
Okay.
So yes,
Yeah.
if you do not notify them of your concealed carry, it's carrying a concealed weapon,
Okay.
and
I
your
got people
license
that
will get
notify
revoked.
me.
See,
I
the
got
thing
people that
about it
notify
is,
me I ain't carrying a gun.
you said what?
I got people that give me their permit and don't have a gun on them.
Right. I do. Yep. And then, if a person gives me a permit and they don't have a gun on them, I ask them why they don't have their gun on them.
Me too.
I usually grill them like, look, you got this for a reason. You need to carry this gun.
Yeah, my part-time job, I'm like, y'all need a heater.
Right. But see, I'm more of the type of person, like, I would feel better notifying where you got your permit from, the sheriff, where you got your permit from, instead of charging you. Because sometimes the sheriff can revoke it and make you go back through that class. So I'd rather that happen than, but then it comes down to the part to, it's not even that person's fault if they were taught wrong. That's why I say, man, these NRA, and listen, I'm not talking trash about any NRA licensed, certified, concealed carry, not you in particular, but there's a problem when you're having people teach a class on something, right? And they don't enforce the laws. And then that gets missed, because that's one of the biggest things that will get your permit taken. That's one of the biggest things. Another one is carrying it where you shouldn't be carrying it.
Let me ask you this: if you pull over a person who is, has a concealed carry permit, they tell you that, right up front, do you normally take the pistol from them? Then I ask that because it might depend on the officer. Like this is over a period of like 20 years. I've been pulled over at least 3 times for speeding or whatever, and I tell them, I think one of the 2 times the police officer didn't ask for the weapon. The other 2 times they asked for the weapon. Like, for example, the one police officer said, "Where is it located?" I said, "It's on the right side on my right hip." He said, "Okay, what I'm going to ask you to do is lift up your shirt." He told me what hand, all of that. And with these 2 fingers, grab it, hand it to him.
After you told me how to conceal carry?
I gave him the license and everything. Gave it to him. He took it back to his vehicle. He unloaded it, all of that. After the traffic stop was over, he opened my back door and put it on the floor behind me, in the seat behind me. And he said, "Just make sure you don't reach for it or anything like that." He said, "Once you get down the road, if you want to pull over somewhere and put it back on, that's fine." He said, "But just leave it there for now until this traffic stop has concluded." I did it. So that was one.
So this is the issue with these kind of stories. Okay, we're talking about 2 different states for one, right? So they might do things differently. Here in North Carolina, that's not how we operate. If you tell me you got a concealed carry, I ask you where it is. That's it. I said, "Do you have your gun on you?" They say yes. I say, "Where is it?" "Middle console, glove compartment." I say, "All right, well, just don't reach for that area. Let me do my job and we'll be done. No problem." You know what I'm saying? Only time I take a weapon is if I know there's a violation pertaining to that weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like if I find out they do have a concealed carry, or they say, "Hey, I got a gun in my glove compartment." Well, that could possibly be concealed carry. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a concealed carry. So I will take that and I will go through that whole thing. But as far as just taking a gun just to be taking it, I don't think it's well, North Carolina, it's not an officer's right just to take a gun. If you have a concealed carry and you doing everything by the law, it's not an officer's right to take the gun at any point. Because let's say I bring that gun back to you, I put it in your back seat, unloaded, and then you down the street, you run into somebody that tries to rob you and they kill you. And you couldn't defend yourself because I unloaded that gun. I think that falls on the liability of me doing that. You know what I'm saying, in the long run.
Why would you touch a loaded gun? They're legal concealed carry holders. Leave it in the holster.
Why would you have anybody hand you a loaded gun? That's what I don't understand.
No, if you pop out a permit, I'm like, dude, just leave it where it's at. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's the difference about the South and the North, though. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but
hey, I'm from Pennsylvania, so I still got a little bit ties there now.
But we deal with a lot more guns, do we not? Everybody down here's got guns.
Yeah.
It's not even a big deal for us. Have you looked?
Yeah, I went to California. And I was scared. I was even LEO, and I had my gun on me. I went to California. I was scared to walk around with that gun. It was in the back of my mind, like, I don't know how these cops going to act. I don't even like going to New York with my gun, because they are known to charge officers for concealed carry.
Never been to either state.
Now I got pulled over. Now when I went to the bike rally, I used to go to bike rally I went to the bike rally every year for like 10 years straight. In the last 2 years I went, this is why I stopped going. This is one of the reasons why I stopped going. The last 2 years I went, I got pulled over so many times because I had a gun on my side. You know, the wind would throw your shirt up and they would see the concealed carry. But one particular time, I had a Hayabusa. So I had a whole little I had a big ass iPad on my gas tank with the music going through the whole thing and everything like that. Hold on.
You are the worst. Jesus.
Daddy.
What's up, man?
What's going on?
How you doing, man? Hey, fellas, how you doing, man? What's up, guys? I hope you guys are doing good. Come on, Diesel. You need to invite us to the party, man. You are so shy. You go live. You don't tell nobody.
Man, Patty, I'm not like you on this YouTube stuff, man. You're a pro at this. I'm still a juvenile. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to feel my way through this thing.
Yeah, you are being humble. Don't do that, brother.
No, man. Like you got all the stuff, man. You know all this stuff about YouTube, man. I'm trying to be like you, man. That's all.
The only thing that matters is that the Lakers won. That's the only thing that matters. So
I'm bring that up. That's why
I'm in a very good mood right now. So just don't worry about me.
Listen, this is my Portugal friend. This is one person I know that is not a U.S. citizen that I can say is a good friend of mine. So y'all go to Team.
I appreciate the system about you. I appreciate it, and I thank you for everything. I really do. I really appreciate it.
You know it. So let me finish my story real quick. So I had the whole sound system, and one of my wires on my bike broke, I guess, and the sound system went out. So I pulled over to the side to try to look at it and fix it. My shirt was up, and an officer stopped, and he was like, "Hey, can I help you? You're in a bad area." I said, "I know, but something's going on with my bike." So I'll bend down to get the wire from hanging because it was scraping on the road or whatever, and he sees my gun. This man pulls out his gun and points it to my back and says, "Do not move, I see your gun." Right? So I put my hands up and I say, "Hey man, I'm a police officer. I am carrying concealed. I do have my gun on me, but there's no reason for you to point that gun at me." Right? So he puts his gun up, starts apologizing and all that stuff. I go to the chief, talk to the chief of the Myrtle Beach Police Department, and we have a conversation. And it kind of felt like he was trying to say it comes with the territory. Basically, since I was down there at the bike rally, I should expect that to happen if an officer sees a gun. They have a concealed carry down there, and that's what I didn't understand. So that was my last year going. I was like, man, I ain't trying to get no trouble down there, so I just left it alone.
You are not going to go there without your gun? Can you? I know you guys. Again,
I will not. If I can't carry my gun, I don't go.
I just want to introduce myself. I'm a Portuguese lefty, so guns for me is something that I kind of don't understand. And I know Diesel and everybody here probably is a very Second Amendment right and all that. But there's a thing, right? Like on my country says, if you I don't know if it's on my country, but on Europe we say, if you have to take a gun to some place, don't go, right? But on your end is the opposite, right? If you can't take a gun to some place, you don't go. Like, couldn't you do the same traveling without the gun on you? Like, is that a principle?
This is the problem is where they don't allow me to take a gun. Somebody that wants to get a gun in there will get a gun in there.
I get it.
And that's because there's so like people are not. So prime example is like at a Hornets basketball game, right? The Hornets down in Charlotte.
Yes.
You can't go to that stadium if you're an off-duty officer. You can't carry a gun into that stadium. And my only problem with that is I still get my gun in there.
Wait.
I've been twice, and I know they're gonna turn me around at the door, but twice I still got through with my gun
off duty.
Off duty, yes.
On the arena,
they didn't even know I had a gun on me.
Oh, what the hell is that metal detector shit? Like,
that's my
I've
point.
been watching NBA games. Like, I probably saw at least 30, and every single one there's like the go through there, sir, the metal detectors, and they do the like. And you went by there.
Understand this too, Fatty. Understand this too, Fatty. You know, there's some of those people that are standing at that metal detector.
Yeah.
If that's your cousin coming through, and you know he come bringing a gun, you gonna let him skip.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
People get guns in there. You know what I'm saying? So my thing about it is, I know that there's a big possibility of somebody being in there that has a gun that might not need to have that gun on them. So that's why I say if I can't carry my gun, I don't go. Like I've been down in the Hornet Stadium and they turned me around and said I couldn't bring my gun. I didn't go. I had tickets and everything. I went back home.
I thought it was a matter of principle, right? And probably is.
No, it's not. Really.
It's practicality.
You said what?
It's practicality or principle. Like
it's more for me, it's more practicality. Because I know for a fact that a lot of these places that are so anti-gun are not strict on checking for guns. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like if you're not going to be that strict on checking for guns, if you just let them walk through this machine and you feel like you're relying on this machine, because sometimes the machines don't work as well. Even when that metal detector goes off and they're checking a purse, if you look at them, if you see them look through that purse, they ain't looking for no gun. All I do is open it, put the flashlight in there, and then close it.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that they do that, but like in 2017, I went to Miami to watch a Laker game. I had like a selfie stick, and they said, "Nope, this is dangerous." I was like, "What? Selfie stick? I'm a tourist. Of course, I have a selfie stick, right?" But yeah, it was kind of funny. But
that's what I'm saying. So that's my whole thing. Is like if I have to rely on another person to protect me, I ain't going. Because I know I'm my own best protection. Period. Point blank.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. When you guys go outside of the US, what do you do?
Only place that law enforcement can carry is, I think, Germany. Outside the US, you can carry to Dominican Republic. You can't take your bullets though. You can only carry the firearm, but you can't.
Because I know you guys, and I'm not talking about international like coming here, but like DR, Mexico, like those places that usually people go. Costa Rica, like, do you guys still carry? Like,
no.
You guys
I went to Dominican Republic, and I did not carry because I was staying on the resort. I was not going to be off the resort. So I told myself I was not. But see, like, I won't even go to Mexico. I won't even go to Mexico because of that reason. I won't take I will not go back. I've been, but I won't go back to Mexico because of that reason. When I worked at for Homeland Security, it was a huge thing when it came to the Mexican cartels and stuff like that, about taking trips down there and stuff like that. If you were like part of the Homeland Security task force or agent or anything like that, they told you not to go.
Yeah, I don't know. The resorts are pretty safe. It's like every city that is tourist kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
People know to stay out of it because they know if you kill somebody there, delete somebody there or do something like that,
you're dead.
The government is going to do something to you, right? But other than that, I don't know. Like, again,
you ain't lived in the streets of the U.S., so you ain't,
It's not even there, right? Because again, for example, I went to Brazil. I know I'm a 6'2", 300-pound plus tattooed black guy, right? On every other country of the world, I'm the person that they usually like stayed away. Like they look at me and they stay away from, like they don't want to have problems with me, right?
Right.
But for example, if I don't know if you guys went, but if I am in Brazil in certain areas, I usually look over my shoulder. I know, for example, when I was in LA and we went like a little bit outside of the tourist areas, I have to look around a little bit. But even then, I started like after I started to talk with you guys. Now, like before, I was like happy-go-lucky. I would do stories on the place where I was, and I wouldn't care about it. Oh, I'm here. I hop in LA in these streets. You see what I'm saying? But after I started talking with you guys, I'm like, nah. I will go on one place, go to my hotel. The next day, I'll post it. Yeah, because I understood that.
You know, one of the things I worry about too, like let's say I go somewhere and I can't take my gun, is the fact that I'm scared my gun gonna get stolen. Somebody breaking my car, steal my gun.
Yeah, you told JP the other day that some places that you shouldn't let your guns, all that. So the car probably is one of them,
right?
But I'm not saying it's growing on me. But I kind of understand why you guys are the way you are.
Have you ever shot a gun, Patty? You ever shot a gun?
Me?
Yeah.
I never smoke a fucking cigarette. I'm so safe. I have no idea how a gun feels like. I never felt the recoil. I never smell like. I have no idea. I have
Patty,
no. And
if you ever come back over here to the U.S. and you find yourself coming through North Carolina, anywhere near North Carolina, I want you to at least fire a gun. I will put it in your hands. I'll put you somewhere where it's safe to fire it, and you will shoot a gun.
Hey, I'm not saying next season when the Lakers go to Charlotte, I'm going to make a detour because Ali actually lives there. Ali lives there.
Yep.
Dale lives there.
Angry
so
man.
Probably, yeah. We'll actually should all like go to a dinner or something like that and go to a gun range. So
hey,
you
listen,
can like
listen, Fatty. I got a lot of guns, bro. I can let you shoot whatever you want. Seriously.
But that's the thing. I don't want to be an highlight on her show, be like all scared and shit. Like, oh, like I don't want to be.
No, it ain't got to be nothing like that. I don't have to record it.
I know.
But if you,
no, you can.
But just know this: if you act like a little bitch, I'm gonna make it known.
But that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know about that.
No, everybody's scared of a gun when they initially shoot it until they shoot it. You know what I'm saying? So you will find out that it's nothing like you see in the movies. It is actually fun. You will shoot that gun and literally you will come back. Whenever you come back, you're gonna be looking for a range to go to fire.
Wait, you are telling me that I'm not going to shoot my gun twisted to the side like a gangster, like with the
Fatty? I know you. I don't know. You might. You might try to hold it like that. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Hey, I just need a picture to show my friends. That's the only thing I need to.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you, what is the first? Because I'm 33, right? What was your first introduction to a gun? Like, what was the first?
16.
Like, what about you guys?
I was probably like 10.
Damn, that's young.
Sorry, I'm looking at the comments. What do you say?
I was asking.
Were you?
What was the first introduction to a gun?
I shot a single shot shotgun at 14. That's probably my first introduction. Maybe a pistol when I was like 7 or 8, but other than that, nothing much.
My uncle was a police officer in the boonies in Georgia, and so when I used to go to his house, he would let me shoot outside his out in his yard. So it's about 10 years old.
That's interesting. I think is it correct assumption that people on the South usually are more pro gun and more than?
Oh yeah.
There's a reason for that.
I mean, there's parts of the South. There's parts of the South that are anti-gun.
I think it's moving, but the nomenclature is the South is where you're gonna find more guns. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I would say you know what, Fatty? I really don't know. I can't even think of a reason why that might be. I have no idea, man. I just know that when it comes down to it, you have a lot more strict gun laws when you go up north and out to the west, and those were it might correlate with the settlement of the states a little bit, I guess. I don't know, but
let me tell you what would and maybe this is a little bit of a part of it, right? For example, I'm not pro gun. I live in a big city. I live in a 9th floor of a building. Like, if imagine that I get a lot of money, I buy a land like far away from people, and I buy a really nice house. The fact that I'm on my own alone and far away from my neighbors is going to be a really good reason for me to get something to protect myself. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you guys on the South are more separated from each other, you don't live on top of each other, like Los Angeles, LA, all those cities, Miami, I think it would be a good reason for me to have a gun, because my neighbor is not next to me. For the cops to come to my house is 15 minutes. I need a deterrent for 15 minutes. I'm not saying that I'm going outside and doing something, but to me, actually, I think a lot of what we believe is a part of our circumstances. Like, for example, I am very liberal, and I understand taxes for what they do, but I kind of understand that if I get a lot of money, then I will start to say, oh no, these guys take too much money of me. Let me find a way. You see what I'm saying? Right. So I would be open to the idea that, depending on my circumstance, maybe I would be one of, not Diesel, because Diesel has more guns than Portugal citizens altogether combined, probably. But I see why I would add some deterrent like that. I actually agree. I actually can see that.
Well, most people don't have a fascination with guns like I do. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a problem. I really do have a problem. I mean,
are you one of those people that says, I have a date, let's go to the shoot range? Because that's, to me, is insane.
No. If I have a date, I like to go to the cigar lounge.
That's dope, right?
I like to go to the gun range by myself. And the main reason is because once somebody knows my background in law enforcement, it turns into a lesson more than just having fun shooting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I already teach, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to guns. I don't want it to always be every time I take somebody.
Yeah.
Especially when they know I have a whole bunch of guns, they just automatically think I'm all knowing about guns. You know what I'm saying? So it always turns into a lesson more than just having fun out there shooting.
I understand what you're saying. It's like when I still do, right? But I'm taking a break. My work basically was blogging about basketball all day, podcasting and shit. And like, I was so saturated with that's to me is fun. But I don't want to go around the street, see a friend. Hey man, what about the Lakers?
Exactly.
Hey, leave the Lakers alone, man. Like, exactly. I'm talking. Yeah, so I kind of understand, but the thing is, especially because women like guns for some reason, a lot of women, not women in general. Mm-hmm. To me, I always been fascinated, like when I see on the movies or in series, like the date on the gun range, right? The Japanese have the baseball thing and going to the karaoke. Americans have going to the range, which is fine. If there's a love, there's somebody, probably fun if you guys are meeting each other and all that. It's just the not self-defense part, is the collection part, the go to like those conventions. You see what I'm saying? Like it's the being a fan of the culture. So yeah.
I just you know what fascinates me about gun is so much power in such a little package. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I think that's why so many women are fascinated with me, because it's so much power.
Oh, Cora literally said on the beginning of the show, the more guns he has, the more sexy he is. She literally said that
mom. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
She literally said that on the beginning of the stream, and I was going to talk shit, but I just said, let Cora.
I got a lot of guns, Patty. I got a lot of guns, man.
Joe Morgan said little package.
Hey, call it what you want, boy. That thing come with a boom.
I don't know, man.
But see, I can go. So this is the thing. I can go to a range with like gasoline TV. Me and him been to range. But even when we go, it's kind of one of those things. Is, hey man, I need to work on this. What do you think? Right? Because gasoline knows I'm a pretty good shot. right? And he there are some things that he wants to work on because he wants to do certain things like become a firearms instructor. Since I've done it, he's looking at me like I can teach him how to
show
do it
the rope.
more. What's that?
You are showing him the ropes.
Right. So even with that, even though we go and we have fun, anytime we go to the range, we have fun. It's still me teaching somebody. And I'm the type of person, man, even when I go to the gym and I train, and I see somebody doing something wrong, I always approach them, hey man, listen, you can get a lot more range and build a lot more muscle if you did it this way. You know what I'm saying? So, and when I go to a range and I see somebody doing something that could potentially get them hurt in the long run because they're not doing it the correct way, I will offer that information unwarranted because I just don't want to see people doing stuff wrong. The more you practice, practice don't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. But if you're doing it wrong, you're just practicing the wrong way. I don't know if I said that the right way.
Did you always have the knack for it? For example, Trigger Mike, I know he's some kind of champion. Like he goes on competitions and all that, right?
Right.
The thing is,
Trigger Mike can't shoot better than me though.
Oh damn! Hey, I'm going to clip this. I'm going to snitch.
No, I've already told him this. Tell him he can't shoot better than me.
Really?
No, he can't. I've seen him shoot. He can't shoot better than me.
So is it shooting like sports? Like hard work will put you on a certain place, but you have to have a knack for it. Like there are some talented guys that are, although like they practice for a little bit and they are way better than other people. What do you think?
Well, yes, because so I've done competitions. I've won 5 years in a row for the state of North Carolina, right? So I've done gun competitions, but it's one of those things to where you have to put a lot of time into it, and if you don't have the time, it's not. And then the competitions I did was against other law enforcement, and we all know police have a hard time with shooting well. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just police can't really shoot that well. So it wasn't really a hard time for me to win those competitions. And then for me to go any further in a competition, bro, I was shooting with a Glock straight out the box. These cats are shooting with guns that got $3,000 and $5,000 worth of work done to it. Ain't no way.
Yeah, it was racist.
I mean, I just couldn't. I mean, I just felt like it wasn't worth my time and effort to try to become in one of those competitions to where I probably wouldn't even place, truthfully speaking. I wasn't that good, you know what I'm saying? Just like Trigger Mike, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking crap about Trigger Mike, but his guns are tuned. He has tuned guns that he shoots with. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even know what I would do with a tuned gun. All the guns I shoot have no tuning to them. And I'm putting bullets in the same hole.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Did you become a better shooter when you joined the police, or is actually something that, because you're not shooting every day, probably you take a little bit of a while, like between. So did you become better because of the job, or actually become worse because you don't have time to go to the range all the time?
I think my shooting has fallen off ever since I became the chief. But I had a guy that was in my BLET class, my police academy, that took an interest in me, and he said that he has never seen a student shoot as well as I did the first day of shooting, let alone a black guy. So he took me under his wing and he showed me the ropes. And once he started showing me the ropes, I was shooting 100s ever since BLET, ever since police academy. But I took it a little further. I got a little bit more training once I became a firearms instructor, and they showed me exactly how to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Because he showed me how to get a 100. He didn't show me exactly how to shoot. You know what I'm saying? So my shooting changed so much when I went through firearms instructor class, and it progressed from there.
That's actually interesting because I don't know, like it's like, for example, fighting and then fighting under pressure, like
right.
with your rates or your heart rates like sky high after chasing someone. Is that what I'm saying? It's not the same thing as
It's not. But that's what I'm saying. If somebody shoots good in a competition, doesn't mean they can shoot good when they're under pressure. I mean, most people that thrive in these competitions have been doing these competitions for years, so it's not affecting their adrenaline, their heart rate. stuff like that. That's not coming into factor because they're so used to these tournaments. You know what I'm saying? But once somebody starts shooting back at you, well, that's a different story. That is a totally different. I've never been in that situation, but I'm sure that my aim won't be as good if somebody's shooting back at me.
Yeah. A controlled environment.
Right. But I think you have a better success rate if you do shoot well under no pressure. The better you shoot under no pressure, the better you'll shoot under pressure.
Yeah. I get you.
So are you going live today, Fatty?
Oh no, today is my off day. I went to the movies. I had a couple of drinks. I watched my Lakers. I'm preparing the shows for tomorrow. Today is my actually working hard, like, because I've been working from home for a lot of years and I never had structure because I was woke up in the morning, answer some emails and go back to sleep. Now that I'm working pretty hard during the week, actually it's good because my week is structured. I get to the Sundays that actually is a rest day. So for the first time in probably 10 years, I'm actually enjoying my Sunday. So that's why I'm in a good mood here talking to you guys about guns. Usually I'm like, yo, take the guns away. Next week, guys. Next week.
Hey, man, I got to run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. Don't worry about it. Let me ask you two guys one thing, right? Because I'm going to be... every time there's like a shooting on the United States, my first reaction is, yep, you guys should give away your guns for the greater good, right? What do you guys think about that?
I disagree.
I disagree also.
I think you need to be able to protect yourself.
Because here's the thing: if you stop people from being able to purchase guns legally, there's still so many guns available out and about that the only person that you're really going to be stopping from getting guns are your legal or your law-abiding citizens.
That's true. I couldn't have said that better. That's exactly how I feel about it.
So, do you guys have any solutions for those being happening on the last decades? Like that doesn't involve the gun thing, the removing guns or having a control or whatever?
I say less gun control is better. But everybody needs to be able to have the right to protect themselves, whether they want to use that right or not.
That's the thing, right? Because, for example, people there talk a lot about mental health, but the thing is, there's a lot of countries that have... every country in the world probably has people with mental health issues, right? So if we assume that other countries have mental health issues and they don't have so many mass shootings, like what is the common denominator? Because you guys are not more aggressive than us. We have road rage too, but we take a baseball bat from the truck instead of a gun. You see what I'm saying? Is the fastest thing you can get to, and usually on the United States, unfortunately or fortunately, is a gun. So I don't know. Just trying to figure it out. I don't have the answers to. I just have a lot of questions.
And I think it's an extremely complicated answer. I don't know that there is a magic bullet or an answer for it. But like I said, if you can't guarantee me that we can collect all the guns that are out in society, I'm talking about the American society right now, you can't guarantee my safety. So when you say that I can't purchase or own firearms, then you've just put me at a disadvantage to those people, against those people who are going to do harm. So we're in such a situation now in the United States where there's so many guns around the country that we can't possibly clean all of those up. From over.
That's fair, but let me ask you this, right? For example, in Australia, they had a mass shooting. They did a mass recall, like everybody had to give back their guns, and they gave a massive amount, like $10,000 per gun, something like that, something crazy, right? Don't you think if the U.S. government, enforced by the U.S. Army, came on and said, "Hey guys, every gun $10,000, we're going to clean it up, and everybody that is caught with a gun is automatically 20 years in jail. Don't you think that will clean like 90% of all guns in circulation? You think most of people will keep it?
No, because Australia still has gun problem. Yeah, they do. You just don't see it. You don't see it, but they do still have a gun problem. We've had like before I took my break, we had a guy from Australia come on here and talk about just that situation. And he explained that the gun problem is still there. They just don't advertise it. Media don't talk about it because of that reason. They don't want it to think that it wouldn't stop anything. See, the problem is that I'm not worried about the people that get the guns legally. I'm worried about the ones that get it illegally. And if you're wanting to take guns out of everything, you're wanting to keep guns from everywhere, that means law enforcement, military, and everybody has to get rid of guns, because even if I'm a law enforcement officer and I still have a gun, somebody can still steal it. You know what I'm saying? So it's still guns out there, and the potential of somebody getting it that wants to do harm to somebody else is still there, regardless of if we take it or not.
So you don't see no like solution to like kind of mitigate what is happening right now?
I see a solution. I do see a solution, but the only solution is everybody giving up their guns, not just a citizen. Everyone. That means the military. That means law enforcement, and that's not a good solution. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like the idea of police cops with batons, like walking the streets. Like most of our countries are like that. They just walk on the streets.
But see, you have a different type of policing across the water than you do here in the United States, right?
Yep.
So, you know, when I was in my SWAT training, right, and I'm gonna call it SWAT because that's what most people know what I'm talking about. But when I was in my SWAT training, we had some guys come over from Germany, I can't remember exactly where, and then Russia, come over and talk to us. And they said the reason why they can walk around with no guns is because when they bring suspects into the police department, there's blood on the walls. They see they know how they're going to get treated. They're going to get beat down, and that's just what it's going to be. Here, it's a different situation. You know, that's why they have so much compliance when it comes to them not carrying guns, because they know that baton, they're experts with that baton. They're going to lump you up.
In fact, you mentioned offering money for guns. I'm willing to say that a lot of your 2A people for $10,000 would not submit all their guns. I'm willing to probably also say that criminals who use it for a lot of different things are not going to submit their guns for $10,000 or more than that even.
Nope.
I would say as a baseline, and then negotiate depending on the type of gun. I think like we can all like once you say that $10,000 is not enough, we kind of understand that there's a price that we need. Like we understand that if the price is good enough, probably it's like, for example, when you come to a woman and you say, "Hey, can you sell me some nudes for $500? $500? Who do you think I am?" So now we establish that you will accept money. We just have to negotiate now. You see what I'm saying?
I won't accept any money for my guns. I'm sorry. I won't. I mean, for one, to be able to pay for all my guns, that's a healthy price. But I would not take any amount of money to get every single one of my guns taken. Now, if you said, "Hey, give me 10 of your guns for this price," I might do it. But every single one of my gun, no, it's not gonna happen.
I've been to Germany and Greece, and they both carry guns. All their law enforcement carry guns.
Yeah, in Portugal too. They kind of don't use it, but they carry guns too. Right. Carry gun, batons, mace. They have everything.
Yeah, they carry everything we carry, but there are some places that don't carry as well.
Yeah. In Germany, they carry MP5s. They don't play around.
Yeah.
Well, see, Germany has a big problem with terrorism as well. You know what I'm saying? Before
I agree.
You know, so yeah, they need that MP5.
But and that's the thing. Here on the United States, you could understand why being on the military or on the being on the military or being on the on being a police officer is kind of dangerous. Here, if you are like a street cleaner, you probably have more chances of getting hit with something and die than being a police officer, because here, like, even the police officers are older. Like they're older. A lot of them out of shape. They kind of don't care, right? It's like more I think it would be like more of a traffic. Like, they imagine that we have other police officers in Europe is more from you guys, probably like a traffic police officer or somebody that was just redirecting the traffic to here and there. I think is culture is very, very different.
Well, directing traffic in law enforcement is one of the most dangerous things you can do.
Yeah,
there's been a bunch of cops getting killed by getting ran over.
I don't know, man. Me catching an Uber in Miami actually is more dangerous than going to the military, probably, because those guys go crazy. First time I been on an Uber and had to say, I look at the seat belt, I say, yeah, let me get this real quick.
You ain't using that driving. Miami, boy, they drive crazy, boy. They drive crazy. Well, fellas, I really appreciate y'all coming on here, man. I had to work last night, so I'm still trying to catch up. I got to go to work in the morning.
One show at a time, brother. One show at a time.
I'm still trying to get this whole thing down, bro, but I appreciate your help on it.
You're going to get there. The thing is, you have a very niche group of people. As soon as we make it exciting and we make enthusiastic, people are going to flock to try to be a part of it. It's usually like that. Just it's like a nightclub. First starts slow, then it gets popular, and then people are fighting to get in to the point where you have to say, nope, we're full today. So we're going to get there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I ain't worried about it. I know when I was doing lives before, about 2 years ago, wasn't nothing like this, bro. All these buttons on this daggone StreamYard wasn't anything like this.
Just had to turn on, turn off.
Right, that's it. That is it. It was nothing like this, bro. It's all the way different now.
Yeah. So
Grayman 47. Hey, make sure you guys go and subscribe to Grayman 47. Check him out. Check out some of his old videos so he can get some of that money from it. My man Fatty, he's got a lot of good conversations on his page, man. Especially when he trolls people, man. I love when he starts trolling people. Check out Team Fatty. Gasoline TV. Listen, guys, I am gonna be doing some ride along videos. All right, I'm gonna start back my ride along videos. Don't know exactly how it's gonna be. It's probably gonna be chopped up in a bunch of different pieces of days and all that stuff, because I spend a lot of time behind a desk. But
that's the truth.
Yeah. So you know, when it comes down to it, there are times where I have to run out and help another officer or something like that, or there might be a chase or something like that coming through and I get video of it. I'm going to have some ride along stuff. So y'all guys just stay tuned. It's going to take a little bit more time to get them together, but it's going to happen. So y'all stay tuned for that. But go ahead and follow my man, Team Fatty and Grayman 47. And we are going to get out of here, man. I appreciate everybody coming and chilling with me this Sunday for the 2.5 hours that we were here. And y'all know what it is, man. I'm out.
Y'all stay up.
You do what it is.